This program is intended for informational purposes only and does not contain medical advice. As always, please contact your physician or qualified healthcare provider with any questions regarding a medical condition. Hot and Bothered podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford. And let me tell you, you guys are going to be hot and bothered today when you find out who my guest is. If you haven't already seen the #1 trending show on Netflix, Beauty in Black, another Tyler Perry masterpiece, then you are missing out. It is everybody's guilty pleasure right now, and the second half of the first season is airing right now. Today, I am joined by one of the stars of the show, Roy Bellery, also known as Julian Horton in real life, is going to be sitting down with me. I'm going to be asking him every single question that I don't think anybody else has asked him. He is on a hell of a press run, but I want to get a little bit deeper under the surface. So stay tuned while I talk to Julian Horton. Okay, so my cameramen, they like to count me down, but we've already been potting. We've already been potting,
We've
Julian.
been potting, yes, we
We've
have.
been talking, shooting the shit ever since you sat down. Thank you for joining me, by the way. Listen, I told y'all you guys were going to be hot and or bothered today when you saw today's guest, okay? And if you haven't seen Beauty in Black, well, you're sleeping because you guys are already filming season 2.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, come on now.
Maybe.
It can't be a secret because this is the #1 trending show on Netflix.
It is.
So to think that it wouldn't get a second season automatically is like, wait,
It's
what?
crazy. I know it's crazy, isn't it? It's
Okay,
nuts.
so we'll just operate like maybe it is, maybe it's
exactly,
not.
Exactly.
But the second half of first season is on your television sets right now. It's in your streaming service. It's on Netflix, so you can catch half of season 1, the first half, and then you can catch the other half of season 1. And boy, is it gonna blow your socks off.
Definitely.
Child, listen. I did not do a whole lot of homework for this interview because I really just wanted to get to know you.
Yes.
And I didn't want to be influenced by any questions that anybody else had asked you because I have my own line of questioning and I have my own ideas as to where I want to take the questions. This is Hot and Bothered, where we discuss a lot of topics that have to do with sexual health and wellness.
Okay.
We talk a lot about mental health as well. When I started the podcast, I guess everybody thought that it was mainly going to be content made just for women, but I have such a huge male fan base that I could not leave them out in the cold. So I thought to myself, how are ways that I can incorporate men into the conversation? And I find that mental health is a really, really good angle. And I know that this is a subject that's kind of near and dear to your heart in terms of some of the homework that I have done. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
so
a little bit.
We'll save that for a little bit later. But we're going to
Exactly.
talk about right now. We're going to talk about Beauty in Black.
Let's
You
talk about
play Roy. I always want to say Belair, but
Everyone says that.
Yeah, but it's Bellery.
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 Roy
There
Bellery.
we go. The right inflection. So it's like, it's
Roy
the
Bellery.
strangest last name. When
It
you see it,
is.
you think Belair, but it's
Bellery.
Bellery.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so you play Roy Bellery. God, I have so many questions. Okay, first of all, was Roy the character that you were going for? Or was there other options for you? First, let me start. Was it an open audition or were you like handpicked to come and read for this?
Basically how it works, characters.
Okay.
It's characters, breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
There's a website called Actors Access.
Yes.
You have all these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that, from what I saw, my POV, all these characters, series regulars, and there's a plethora of characters that that they wanted me to try out.
Okay.
Plethora of characters. So I went through all the characters and stuff, and I said, you know what? This guy I want to play.
You wanted to play Roy.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, I could help my chances if I auditioned for all the other characters.
Yes.
If I auditioned for 4 characters, they saw me in 4 different scenes and 4 different lights and 4 different, I would say, just 4 different perspectives of different characters, I would give myself a better chance. I didn't do that, though, because I was so sure that I wanted to play Roy Bellery.
You play the hell out of Roy Bellery.
I think
you play the hell out of Roy Bellery. Let me tell you. Okay.
Thank you.
Just for the curiosity of the audience who have become rabid fans of the show, what were the other characters that they wanted you to potentially try out for?
So in season 1, we have Shannon Wallace's character Calvin, who was the driver,
the driver, Mallory's driver.
Yes, and then they had
he's so slimy.
He is.
He's so slimy.
Pisses me off. Pisses me the fuck off. Anyways, but then we have Charles, who's my
brother.
Yeah, gay brother.
Yes.
So I was, you know, I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to play the driver. I wanted to play the guy that was going to be crazy, animated, little wild card, who's, you know, had more commonalities within who I am as Julian Horton. I wanted to play that character, especially since it was on Netflix, Tyler Perry's first Netflix series. And, you know, with Tyler Perry and being the brand that he is, Netflix being the brand that they are, I just, if I was going to do that, I wanted just to do it big.
Yeah.
So I said, I need to play this character. So I didn't audition for any other characters. I auditioned for Roy Bellery. Grace of God. Got it.
Okay. So you talked about the character breakdown.
Yes.
Can you paraphrase what that character breakdown said about the character of Roy Bellery?
It was,
I want to see if it lines up with who you are in the show.
It was, you know what? Let's break it down real quick. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds real quick. No, because I have it. I have it real quick.
This.
We'll have it real quick.
I love this. I love this. And you know what? I am going to circle back to the Charles thing.
Yes.
I am going to circle back to that.
You better hurry up, phone.
And the other question I'm going to ask right after you read the character breakdown.
Yes.
So they do not give you the script when you have not been hired yet. You get sides.
Sides, yep.
So sides, for all those of you who are not actors, not familiar, sides are just a portion of the script. You don't know the before, you don't know the after. All you know is this scene. So you as an actor, it is up to you to interpret the words on the page how you see fit. And one actor from the next is going to interpret the words completely differently. It could be a scene where you think that it's high volume and screaming and yelling, and somebody comes in and delivers it quietly and malevolently.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. You're doing a good job of breaking it down.
I'm trying.
Especially because this thing feels
I get
slow.
my little act on. Everything.
You do. I've seen that. For sure.
You know, I'm not on Netflix yet, but I'm on Lifetime. Baby steps.
You're doing your thing. I know. This thing's taking forever. I'm so sorry.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Actually,
get it together. All right. Here we go.
Yeah. No, we really want to hear this.
All right.
The character breakdown of Roy Bellery.
Because I want the people to know this too, because they don't know about it. You know?
And I also want to know when you get to it, if the breakdown describes him as a villain.
We're going to see.
Okay.
Right now.
Because he
is
villainous, but being a student of psychology, I look at the
Boom.
character.
Sorry,
you found it?
Yeah, I found it better.
I will.
No. Go what you're saying. No. Go what you're saying though. Because you're getting somewhere good.
As a student of psychology.
Yes.
You always try to understand people's dysfunction, you know? And a lot of times, children who are brought up in extreme wealth, they very rarely meet any level of expectation because they've been given too much too soon.
Facts.
And so you guys are really just a product of your environment. And so, yes, it can be seen as you being a villain and self-absorbed and all the things. But then you also, when you meet the parents, you're like, well, that was a foregone conclusion, you know?
And that's what we're going to see. It's out now, but you're going to see that in part 2. Why?
Hey, all right.
By the grace of God, I found it. Okay. Roy, black,
Got
male,
that. Check.
in his 30s. Check.
Right.
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Handsome and physically fit. I think
Check
I fit
and
that.
check.
Yeah, that's 5. That's 5. That's 5 right there. Roy is one of Kimmy's best customers and impossible to please. He feels like the money he spends gives him control and power over her, and
Boy, I don't know anyone like that.
make attain nudity and some crazy scenes. Series regular.
Yes.
And that was it.
Okay.
That's it. That's Roy.
Okay.
But I see that. I was like, that sounds fun. That sounds
Okay.
fun.
So back to the interpretation of the words on paper versus how you act them out.
Yes.
What were the sides you were given? Because I now know what I have seen. Like I've seen the entire first, season.
Mm-hmm.
What was the sides that you were given? What scene was it?
The sides I was given I was given the first scene.
Mm-hmm.
The first scene. And the second scene that I was appeared in. So basically, the two scenes that I was vicious in.
Yeah.
You gotta do this shit right. That scene.
Yeah.
And the other scene, where I was like, the second scene when she came in the hotel again, I was like, all you chicks are the same. When
Vicious.
Use my money.
Yeah.
Make me feel like shit. Sit down. You know it's your fault, right? That scene, I was given that scene. Those are the two scenes I was given, and I did it.
Okay,
And
so
those
so
were my favorite
obviously,
auditions.
you could see from the sides
Yes.
that this show was going to be pretty salacious.
Yes.
You could tell that.
Mm-hmm.
You were aware that there was going to be sex, nudity, and that sort of thing, and you were okay with this.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was. See, I'll say this as an actor, okay? I know people probably, man, he talk about God, man, he doing this crazy shit on camera. So my thing is,
we're
like,
mortals. It's
Denzel
fine.
Washington is, obviously he's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And he always talks about, he's a Christian man, and he's a man that believes in God and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So he always tries to find angles of these characters that he plays, you know what I'm saying, to make it make sense for the viewer so they can learn lessons, connect to these characters, and learn lessons from it, whether it be good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned from Denzel when he played Training Day, when he played Alonzo Harris, he would write Romans 6:23 on his script, for the wages of sin is death.
Mm.
So basically, he was playing these characters that was crazy, demoralizing,
Yeah.
you could say evil, vicious. But at the same time, when you play these characters, he wanted the proper ending and the proper culmination to happen to these characters. So you see Alonzo get killed in Training Day like this.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So when I go into Roy and I'm seeing this salacious craziness and he's playing vicious, he's playing nuts. When I read the rest of the script and I see what happens to him,
Mm-hmm.
that allows me to be more comfortable playing this character because I know that the lesson that needs to be learned is given to the viewer.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, like, he has things happen to him that if you were a right person in your mind, you wouldn't want it to happen to you.
Yeah.
So that means when you see this guy, let it be a lesson to you to not repeat his mistakes, because tumultuous, crazy things can happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I play the character for real.
I mean, his circumstances are not average.
They're not.
He's born into extreme wealth.
Yes.
And he's born into a family that, is by all accounts, famous in the city. It's portrayed like it's Chicago, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. And so those are just circumstances that are the average person just would not have any real kind of, any real ability to kind of like see themselves inside of,
Yeah.
And your portrayal of Roy is, you're very hateful.
I am.
I'll say that.
I am.
And there's some characters like Denzel in Training Day
Mm-hmm.
where it takes the viewer
Yeah.
a really long time
Mm-hmm.
to start liking the actor again because
Yeah.
they were so good.
Mm-hmm.
They were so hateful. They were
Yeah.
so villainous. I was going to ask a little bit later about the amount of attention that you're getting now.
Yes.
But do you ever have people coming up to you and asking you or talking to you about like the villainous turn and just,
All the time.
and okay, so
I hate how you did Kimmy, nigga. All this other shit. All the time.
Yeah,
Get my girl on,
Kimmy's
nigga.
like
I
a
don't like
kick
that shit
puppy.
all the time.
Yeah.
But more times than not, though, it's just a lot of love. It's the reception has been great. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been amazing. I'm just blessed. I'm grateful, and I have immense gratitude for just people watching the show. Period. I'm a guy that's been doing this for almost 10 years now, and just to have a show that's connecting with fans, being seen by so many people, I'm just blessed.
You are.
Good, bad, negative, positive, hate, I'm just blessed that people are watching it.
You are.
I've been doing this thing for a long time. I've been trying for a long time. Since I was 6 years old.
Yes.
Grace of God, 27 years, finally some work is being seen.
Won't he do it?
It don't matter if it's bad. It don't matter if you hate the nigga, like the nigga. I'm just glad that whatever God gave me is being shown. It's being conveyed to the people. So it's yeah, I deal with that a lot. The character, see, the thing about the character though is this. Me as Julian Horton. See, you could play it so many different ways.
Yeah.
So if you see that, you can be a stoic,
but you're not
boring.
Yeah, you're not.
Just a mad,
you're
vicious.
like.
But see,
you're like a lion or like like an animal. You know what I mean?
I'm animated and stuff. So I try to give him. I mean, I don't try to. I do this. Our redeemable qualities, whether it be with Mallory. And it's different. So he's like, you so mean, nigga. You vicious. You mad. But then when I'm a Mallory, or with any other things I'm doing, I'm more aloof and goofy and animated and free and not as vicious. So it's like two parts of Roy, because he's not one noted. He's a lot of things. When he's a Mallory, he's a little bit more funny, a little bit more goofy, a little bit more just not as serious.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make it like, oh yeah, I hate him. Because it's kind of like, he's an asshole. He is an asshole.
Yeah.
But it'd be probably fun to go out with that nigga, to have a drink with him. It's like that. And that's how I am in real life, kind of. I'm not an asshole in real life, but that's how I am. You like to have a drink with me. I'm fun.
We're having a drink right now. You are pleasant to have a drink with. Roy, I don't know about that. Yes. I don't know about that.
And it gets
I might wanna walk out and leave him with the bill.
Yeah, Roy is Tyler Perry's mind is very expansive.
With this, diabolical.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Tyler Perry is talented.
He is wildly.
Just watching him on set, and I know we're just going kind of like another topic, but I can do Bad All By Myself. I think that's the movie that I saw on Netflix the other day. And just the novelty kind of goes away a little bit when you start working with people that you revered.
Yes.
And it kind of goes away a little bit because we're human beings. So that time that you spend with people, it's like, you're used to it now. And it's like, you're working with Tyler Perry, but then if you get yourself out of that, it's like, this really is Tyler Perry. And you get to see him direct. And then you get to see his movies sometimes, like on Netflix. I'll just watch some stuff that he's done. And I'm looking at Tyler, I'm like, yo, for him to write this stuff, for him to produce, for him to have his own studio, for him to direct, for him to be on the Eddie Murphy type tip where he's playing different characters, Medea, then playing the brother, and then playing the Tyler Perry himself. He's just super talented. And I think sometimes, people say this and that about him, but I think we sometimes don't really acknowledge how talented this man is.
Do you see any parallels between you and Tyler Perry? Because I know that you've talked about the fact that at one point you experienced, homelessness.
Yeah.
And he has been very vocal about the fact that he experienced homelessness as well. You're both very creative people. So do you see parallels, even the smallest ones between you and him?
That is a great question. You know what? I've been waiting for that question. I do, because I think that TP has, he really takes full advantage of every facet of the game.
Agreed.
Every advantage. I'm talking about whether it be social media, whether it be this, whether it be, he's done so many things and stuff. So it's like, I look at myself and know that we're living in 2025 and it's not just good enough to be an actor.
It's not.
You have to hit it on every facet of the game and really try to really make your mark, whether it be on social media.
You are jumping ahead, okay?
We're going to
put a pin in that social media part. We're going to put a pin in that social media part, but you are absolutely right. But I want to backtrack a little bit to the characters. So did your agent send this
Yes.
send you out for this?
Mhm.
Okay. And so you looked at the breakdown, and there was Calvin, there was Charles,
Yes.
and there was Roy. I was interested to know or ask you, as an actor, if you would have been able to play the character of Charles. And just for you guys who have not seen the show, and after you watch this interview, just go watch it. Just go ahead and watch it. Charles is Roy's brother, and he is gay. And he has a very active sex life. Very active sex life.
He does.
It is graphic.
Mm-hmm.
And I wondered, when I heard that, Charles was on the breakdown and it was a possibility, because, the actor Jay Alphonse, who plays C Murder? P Murder in P Valley.
Lil Murder.
Lil Murder. Thank you.
My boy. That's my boy.
I love him.
Yes. Great guy.
He's awesome.
Great guy.
Heterosexual, married with children,
Mm-hmm.
but he plays bisexual.
Yeah.
And he has gay sex in this.
Yes.
And it is graphic. And I just, it stirred up a lot of conversation on social media about your boundaries as an actor. Mm-hmm. And as an actor, when you are supposed to be a blank canvas, that's and method especially.
Yeah.
Do you think that you would have been able to play Charles? And if not now, do you see yourself ever being able to play, somebody with a sexual orientation outside of yours?
That's a good question. Personally speaking,
it's not
if
easy.
I was going to do an LGBTQ character, in Charles, that character, probably not. I'm not doing that. Probably not doing that. But if I was going to do it, because I personally don't recommend it for myself, just being who I am and stuff. But if I was going to do a character like that, it would be in the passage of like Moonlight.
Okay.
Something like that, where it's more tasteful.
Yeah.
Where it's not so vulgar.
Are you the kid version, the middle?
Probably
or the
Trevante
older?
Rose version.
Okay.
Where it's like, I ain't gotta do nothing, but I can look at you like, you had a pass, nigga.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it. So I'm not really doing that much, but yeah. So probably not. I'm not doing that. But at the same time, if it was to tell a story and it was something like a Trevante Rose character, yeah. But what Charles is doing, hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And Charles kills it. I mean, that's my brother, Stephen Norfleet.
He does.
Amazing actor.
You guys are both loathsome.
Yeah, he's amazing. He does his thing, and it's just
in completely different ways.
Yeah,
completely different ways.
Yeah.
Both loathsome, and so you are doing an exceptional job.
Yeah.
So I've seen you say a couple of times. You say you share a lot of commonalities with Roy, and you've said the word dark.
Yeah.
A lot. Every time you have used the phrase commonalities with the character of Roy, you then go on to say the word dark. What part of the darkness do you guys share?
I think just
and what is even considered to be dark?
I think just going through life, period. I think just from my childhood to all the way to college, just so many moments in my life that has garnered different emotions within my spirit, whether it be anxiety, depression, intrusive thoughts, fear, worry, a darkness that, I needed God more than ever. And I couldn't convey it the way I wanted to, maybe in the, the real life, because it's not appropriate to do those things. But I think the darkness sometimes, it bubbles up in your spirit, and it's there. We all have memories. We have things we go through as human beings that are very tough and tumultuous, and it's tough to get through. And by the grace of God, there's the only reason I get through them. But they're still there, and there's still emotions that you go through. And when you get a character like Roy, acting is so amazing. I think it's the best craft in the world. I love it so much. It's literally saved my life. It saved my life. This craft has saved my life. And to be able to convey these emotions in this character, whether it be Roy, whether it be other characters I played, it's a therapeutic thing. It's a
Yeah.
release a little bit because you get to be present. You get to take these words that's on this page and just convey it out of your spirit. And it just feels very refreshing, very fulfilling.
Maybe cathartic.
Yeah, just to
Yeah?
get it out your system and spirit, because maybe you don't even know that you were holding it in. Something that was like
Cheap form of therapy almost.
Exactly, it really
Well,
is.
actually, therapy you're being paid for.
I'm telling you. I'm telling
in
you.
reverse.
And it's a crazy thing. And it's just like, you get to be vicious and mean, and maybe you couldn't do that because,
Societal expectations.
that's really it, though.
You know,
You can get really into it.
respectability politics.
Yeah,
all
like
the
people
things.
trying to like throw you in places that you're not supposed to be in, and really just do things that are not acceptable to you, but they're doing it because they think they have power. And at the end of the day, you can't react the way you want to because maybe you want freedom. You don't want to be in the places they want you to be at and stuff like that. So you just bottle it up, take it, and and it's there. Basically.
Trust me, I know a little bit about that.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not saying it on camera. Exactly.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a little bit about method acting.
Yeah.
So there's different practices when it comes to acting. There's the Stanislavski method. I'm sure you all have heard about method acting. And some actors who practice the method are Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
Kate Winslet. Marlon Brando was an actor who practiced method. One of the greatest actors ever to walk the face of this earth, Daniel Day-Lewis.
I was just about to say him.
Is yes. I believe that Denzel.
Heath Ledger.
Put a pin in that. That's another question. Saving that for later. Okay. So for method, basically what happens is you don't break character. A lot of times when you're playing a role that is like multidimensional and has just a lot of complexity, you stay in that character, like Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
You stay in that character for the length of time that you portray that character. You don't break character.
Yeah.
That is such a that is not an easy decision to make.
Yeah.
That's a significant investment in every aspect of the word. So do you stay in the character of Roy? And if you do, how do your loved ones and friends handle that?
To be honest, I don't at all.
Okay.
I don't do method acting like that, for real. I don't really do it. Well, Roy, see, Roy, this nigga Roy, it's in me. I don't have to. See, the thing about it, like, I'll be honest with you. I'm so blessed with this character. Sometimes people ask me, yo, nigga, what's your favorite character? What would you like to play?
Yeah.
They expect me to say Marvel or something like along the lines of that. I say, this nigga Roy is a favorite character I've ever played in my life. Because at the end of the day, I'm already animated.
Yep.
See what I'm doing right now as a person?
Yes.
And all I gotta do is go on set and do it.
Yeah.
So it's not really on some like, are you in character, Joel? And it really is, Roy is, I just know that I bring the energy to the character as best as I can. And I just do what I do for real. See, because at the end of the day, I'm very blessed to play this character because, yeah, it's a character. We have to learn these lines. We have to bring our technique to it. We have to really be actors.
Yeah.
But it's not like so when I see like a Daniel Day-Lewis, for example, Daniel Day-Lewis is like a what's it, cobble globber? I think the people that make shoes or whatever. What's that?
Cobbler.
Cobbler.
Yeah.
Not gobble globber. Cobbler.
Hey,
cobbler.
Whatever. We'll call it
Cobbler.
Cobbler.
So you see like Daniel Day-Lewis' interviews, right?
Yeah.
He's very soft-spoken and I love the craft and this, whatever. Then when he gets to a role like There Will Be Blood.
I was gonna ask you, what is your favorite role that Daniel Day-Lewis has ever played? And for me, it is There Will Be Blood. I mean, like there's Kings of New York, there's My Left Foot, but what?
Exactly.
That was jaw lap the entire time. 3 hours.
I've abandoned my boy. That shit.
Yeah.
And then you got him doing that. And then he can do the Lincoln shit. And then he can do the Gangs of New York shit. And then he can do the Phantom Opera shit. So it's not like with Roy, it's different because it's kind of has so many commonalities with who I am that I don't have to do method acting compared to like, let's say like if I was playing a biopic or someone that was like totally outside of who I was, that'd be a little different and stuff. So I got to get a role, and I'm looking for a role. I mean, you got to just trust God as time goes on. That roles come like that, where you break out of your comfort zone even more. It kind of is uncomfortable to you, and then I really will experience if I will try method acting like that. You know what I'm saying? Because right now I'm playing Roy, and he has so many commonalities with me that I don't really have to like get in the character because I can talk like this and say like,
right. You get to create the character.
Give me the
You
fucking
get to
drink.
create the character with voice.
Exactly.
You get to create the character with, gesticulation.
Exactly.
You get to create the character.
I ain't got to think about it basically.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have to do much.
You make Roy.
Exactly.
Whoever you think
Exactly.
he is, you make him.
Exactly.
But if you were to do a biopic,
that's different.
Who do you think that you would want to do a biopic for? Just thinking about your physicality, who it matches up with.
You know, I was talking to my cast yesterday. We were actually talking about this question. And I asked him that. I said, what role would y'all like to do? And we just started talking and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of figures out there that haven't had a biopic. I want to do O.J. Simpson, some shit like that. I think I'm big like him. I know that sounds crazy as shit. He's nuts. But I feel like OJ is kind of like, he's such a polarizing figure, obviously.
Very much so.
And so many things have been done about him. I mean, Netflix just came out with another documentary about him. I'm like, how many documentaries are there about this guy?
Like 500.
Rest in peace to O.J. Simpson, whatever. I know people, whatever. I mean, you have your opinion about him. I don't have no good, no bad.
But as an actor, you want to play a polarizing figure.
Yeah, just a polarizing figure. And OJ, there's a couple of figures. I mean, but yeah, I mean, OJ's. I don't know if I should say that. I don't know if I should have said that just now.
No, it's fun. Listen, you're an actor. You're an actor, and you get a role, and you sink your teeth into it, and that's what it is. And so, if the person, like you said, is polarizing, where they were at one point beloved and then they became very, very hated. I mean, as an actor, you want to sink your teeth into that.
You do.
That's what you want to do. It's not like you're co-signing this person's behavior.
Not at all. Not at all.
But as an actor, it's your responsibility, especially in a biopic, to flush out maybe the reasons and the psychology behind, why they did the things that they did.
That's it. That situation is horrible, and I just feel for everyone that was involved in that and the victims of that situation. I don't know what happened. We'll never know because he's not here no more. But I just think that I was always been intrigued by those like murder mysteries. You never know what happened type stories. And I think that, I played football. He played football. I think that, we had the same skin tone a little bit, both bigger. He went into acting.
Yeah.
I went into acting.
A lot of
so there's a lot of parallels within there. And I think that, I think that whole story is just crazy because like within that story is so many juggernaut type things that happened.
Yeah.
That was going on in 1990. I was 2 years old at the time. But I still remember like kind of vividly the chase and everything like that. But I think he's one of the characters I would like to play. And I think I could like do voice work and really
I was going to say you could absolutely do voice work.
Yeah.
Your voice is.
I do a lot of voices.
Yeah.
So it's like.
It's not easy to do.
It's
a gift.
I would step into that. Thank you. So I would step into that. But it's a couple guys that, see, with acting, because a lot of people do ask me that. They're like, what kid you like to play, nigga? I'm like, I really just, whatever comes.
Yeah.
Whatever comes. Because there's so many characters to play.
Yeah.
So it's really just on some more like, I just know that when that character I do have a chance to play, I just want to kill it and give it the best, like, I just want to do what it do. Like Jamie Foxx said and Ray Charles said, I just want to do what it do every time.
You mentioned Heath Ledger, who was another actor who practiced the method.
Yeah.
And, it's widely rumored and speculated that the darkness of playing Joker just kind of exacerbated his, his depression, his severe depression, which led to his demise.
Yeah.
Whether it was an intentional suicide or whether it was, a drug overdose because of, just wanting to self-medicate or whatever the case is. I was going to ask you, if you ever feared taking on roles with such a level of darkness, and encompassing that level of darkness that it might scare you a little bit.
I guess we just gotta wait to find out, to be honest.
Do you have any guardrails that you have in place that should something like that happen? You have a checks and balances system in place.
I do have a checks and balances system. Really, just Nothing demonic, nothing crazy like that. But and that's really it. I mean, LGBTQ. I don't want to really demonic in playing a character like LGBTQ. I really don't kind of. That's really just like my checks and balances when it comes to that.
Got it.
Honestly, that's just what it is. Like everything else, I'm with it. You know, I just want to do characters that I can play and bring to life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How's your support system? How's your family support system? Group of friends?
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I have. It's like trickles down. I have like a totem pole of people, but obviously it starts with God, Yeshua. All praise to the Most High, all the time, forever and always. But yeah, from my family to my mother and my father, who are great support systems always. Since I was a kid. My team, my agency, my group of friends. We have a thing that I created. My friend group is called TMO.
What does that stand for?
Most original.
Okay.
I created it in 2013. Not the richest people in the world, not the most beautiful people in the world.
Rich
not
in
this,
spirit.
not this. We're all
rich
in spirited, but we're the most original motherfuckers on the planet.
Okay.
Most original.
That group chat must be fun.
Crazy, funny, amazing. Just the most original. I think my friend group and the support system that I have is priceless, and I think that I don't have anybody around me that is envious. I don't have anyone around me that's jealous. I think that we support each other in such a priceless way. And I'm so grateful for every single day. They want to see me win. Vice versa, I want to see them win.
Yeah.
It is really a priceless friend group, a priceless experience, and people know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's healthy, it's amazing, it's organic, it's authentic, and I thank God for it every single day.
So I want to ask you a little bit more about the pivot. You pivoted from a career, like a football career, basically, and you pivoted from there to acting. How old were you when that happened? And what was your gut telling you at the moment where you decided to make that pivot?
Yeah, so I think that happened when I was like 23 years old. I was 23 years old. Played football for started when I was 7 years old, so that would have been 16 years. Played it for 16 years. Grace of God. I'm gonna keep thanking God because every time I freaking think about it,
won't he do it?
I'm here with you right now. I'm here with you right now. And it's not me. You know what I'm saying? I want the world to know that every single day. That's the number one purpose of my life. Show that God's the X factor. And I'm not even a guy that's super goody-goody. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Back to the question. Okay. So anyway, at the end of the day, it's 16 years I played it. And 23 years old, I think I was done with politics and just done with just
the politics of the game.
Yeah, I think I just wasn't having fun the way I used to have. And at the end of the day, it just wasn't what it once was. And I just, I wouldn't say I was tired of it. I was just over it. I mean, I guess I is tired of it. But yeah, I mean, I was just kind of over it. And at the end of the day, I knew that football wasn't my identity. I just knew that I could do a lot of other things besides football. And I wasn't scared to try other things. So it didn't hurt me and dampen my spirit as much as it would have maybe other players that football was everything they did. I breathe, sweat, I wasn't like that. I was more so, I could do a lot.
Listen, Linda, listen. The psychology of football players. I mean, I've been engaged to a football player. And the worst time to be around them is when they're being put out to pasture.
Yes.
When their career is slowly starting to fade, and it is the absolute worst.
Exactly.
When the lights are coming down, and it's like there's so much about their identity that is ensconced within the number on their back.
Facts.
And when they don't have that, they haven't developed any level of another identity.
I'm telling you.
So you said that it started to not be fun, but how was your mental health around the time of the pivot?
I mean, I would say I had a lot of anxiety about it. I had a lot. I mean, I was dreading it, kind of, to be honest. Like, just doing things. I felt like I was just going through the motions, to be honest, at the end of the day. I think that I was just going through the motions. I think that my family was happy with a lot of things that were happening. You with the Tennessee Tate and you flip. But I was just like, whatever. I really was on some whatever shit, to be honest, because I wasn't really fulfilled the way I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was grateful for the opportunity because I played football for so long.
Being grateful and being fulfilled are two very, very different things.
You're so right about that. Exactly, because opportunity is still the opportunity. And I was grateful for the opportunity, but at the same time, it's just, I was going through anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I kind of felt relieved once it was over, to be honest, because I feel like I was like,
to make that decision.
Yeah.
To stand 10 toes down on that decision. A lot of times the anxiety is the what if I disappoint this person? What if I'm making a mistake? What if right around the corner is like the opportunity that I'm about to miss? What if? And you have to quiet the noise.
You do.
How do you quiet the noise? Because I know you meditate now, but were you meditating then?
I wasn't meditating then.
Okay, so how did you quiet the noise then?
I was just praying to God and just trusting in Him and knowing that this isn't it for me. And I do know that He's given me the abilities, the capabilities to do other things. And that's when I really just started to say that acting was the way. I'm gonna try, and it took me a while to do it. It was a lot of anxiety to start. To even start, I didn't know where to start. I think as people, as human beings, I think that the sound of doing things, we tell ourselves we're gonna do something, that kind of like eases some sort of like expectation we have within ourselves, and we don't go after it. We start being stagnant again, start procrastinating again. And I thought I just kept telling myself, I'm gonna act. But I didn't start. It just felt good to say that I'm gonna start acting.
Yeah.
Until it got to my, it got so crazy in my life that I didn't have no choice but to start. And then that's when I really started and really just went all in. And Will Smith already said, he's like, on the other side of fear is bliss. And on the other side of fear was bliss, because like sometimes we procrastinate so many times as human beings because we're scared. Fear is such a big part of our souls and our spirits. But we can oftentimes find ourselves that when we just, do it, the fear goes away. You just gotta take that first step. And I took that first step with acting. I got an acting class. I got my headshots done. I started doing background work. I put myself in Actors Access. I started getting auditions. I'm like, you know what? Why did I not start this shit earlier? This shit's not as bad as I thought it was. And that's when life, period, with a lot of things, with a lot of people, people don't start things because of the fear of others and the projection of others and the anxiety and the intrusive thoughts and the fear and their own mind telling them they shouldn't do this. And it's like, sometimes you got to just say, fuck all that and just go.
A lot of times our fear and our procrastination is just related to the fact that we just don't have enough momentum behind us.
That's true too.
And a lot of times the only source of momentum for people is what I like to call the dark night of the soul, or a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
So do you feel like there was a point in time where you said, I have to start?
Yeah.
Was it accompanied by a dark night of the soul moment or a come to Jesus moment?
Yeah.
Where you're kind of looking at your circumstances and be like, this is screwed.
Yeah. It was, no, I'm playing. It was definitely some come to Jesus moments. That's all I'm going to say about that. It was some tumultuous craziness, drama-filled stuff that was happening in my life, and tumultuous relationships, backstabbing, some shit off a book in the movie. Some shit happening that just made me like, yeah, I can't do this no more. I'm like, nigga, you had a purpose before they had an opinion. Shout out Jalen Hurts.
Right.
But that quote's so fire. I had to get it.
It's so fire.
Shout out to the Eagles, nigga. Fly, Eagles, fly.
I was about to say,
Shout out my boy Jalen Hurts.
hold on.
I can't take his quote. That quote's so fire.
No,
I be
you
so
can
mad
borrow
sometimes.
it.
I be like,
he gave
damn,
it to
that nigga
us.
said that shit first.
You can borrow it.
Man, Jalen said that shit first.
So wait, hold on. So you were born in Philly. You spent
born in
5
Philly.
days there.
5 days? How you know that? I did my thing. No,
Okay.
I know.
But then you moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But okay, so like Falcons or Eagles?
Eagles.
Well, they just won the Super Bowl, so.
I just went to the NFC Championship game 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm in Philly a lot. And I've been an Eagles fan since I was like 9 years old, 8 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Eagles fan.
Okay.
And so to see them in the Super Bowl was 2017 felt a little bit different because they never won a Super Bowl before. So I was like, we beat the Patriots, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. But then this year was like
this year the right team won.
Yeah, we just
didn't it feel like good and evil?
Yeah, because it was like we was killing niggas this year. So it wasn't as like, because I think the 2017 season, when Nick Foles was there and we had a backup quarterback, it was like, man, I don't know if we're going to beat Tom Brady, man. God damn, we got to play Tom Brady. It's going to be tough. We got Nick Foles, a backup quarterback, and we won.
Yeah.
It was such a surprise.
Like, what? Oh, shit.
Compared to this year, it was like,
you dominated.
Dominate.
It was such a pleasure to watch.
It was. Because we know
My God.
NFC Championship, we scored 55 points. Killed them.
Yeah.
Not even a damn contest. I spent $2,000 on tickets.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I didn't even get to see a good game. I didn't even get to see a good game. 55-23. And then I'm thinking about, I want to go to the Super Bowl too, nigga. Thank God I had to do some other things before that.
Right.
So I couldn't go to the Super Bowl. But them tickets like $6,000.
Damn.
I would love to see the Eagles in the Super Bowl in person, but then, sometimes like $6,000 for them niggas just to beat the shit out of the Chiefs. I mean, and it's packed. I'd rather watch on TV, But it was cool to still see them. I'm so happy for the Eagles.
I'm very, very happy for them.
I'm so sorry. Purpose before the penny, yes.
Yes.
I didn't know what we were talking about before that. To be honest.
It's okay. I'll keep you on track. I was going to ask you, we were still talking about football.
Yes.
Football and acting, they require a certain amount of sacrifice and discipline.
Yeah.
So do you feel like your football career assisted you in your acting career now?
I do.
Okay.
I definitely do. Because I go hard. I go hard. Like with this acting stuff, I'm a competitor. I want to be the best actor. And obviously, I respect my other actors. I respect my castmates. They're amazing actors. Every set I go on, amazing actors. But I can't tell you, I would be lying to you if I didn't tell the truth that I want to go kill. I want to go kill. I want to go be the greatest. Yeah. It's like Kendrick said in that Control verse. I want to make your core fans never heard of you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I want to go in there and be like, who's he? Yeah. Every time. And I think that comes with sports of just being a competitor. You have to fight for your spot. Because you cool with your peoples. Yeah, we go party. We go have a good time. Let's go have a drink, nigga. We go have a fun time. Let's go to the bar, go on these chicks, nigga. But then it's time to get into those white lines. Who's going to be the starter when the season opens? And it's like I carry that around me everywhere I go because I want to win. And at the end of the day, it's just like I carry that competitive spirit everywhere I go. I want to win. I'm still a team player, but yeah, I want to win. And I think just like the hard work from football, the discipline, the tenacity, the competition, I bring all that to the acting, all of it. Yeah. And even TP, he go there, don't he? And TP be making jokes about like he just goes there. I'm like, yeah, I go there. Why wouldn't I? I'm going 110%. It's like it's not acting to me. Yeah. So
but it's nice to have the approval of the boss.
It is. And he be going
super
hard.
boss.
Exactly, because it's like some people would tell me you're acting fake. It's make believe. Not with me. I don't think it's fake. I don't think it at all.
I don't look at it like that.
When I'm in it, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
It's real. And I think every great actor is gonna like be in it, you know what I'm saying? Be present and be in the moment. But like even other castmates, other things I've done, like it just make believe. No, it's not. Not to me, because when I step into those lines, whether it be in front of a camera, it's real. And I'm going 100%. You better be prepared because I'm bringing it. Yeah. Every time. And I want to win and I want to be great. I'm addicted to the greatness because God's allowed me to have a certain talent, a certain blessing, and I got to honor it. I got to go full throttle. And that's what football taught me, sports taught me, God taught me. And I bring it to the acting every time. Every time.
Were you this intense as a kid?
Always.
Okay.
4 years old, I knew.
So did everybody around you say, you know what you should do? You should act. Did anybody ever suggest this when you were younger?
You're going to win in life.
Okay.
That's what they told me.
Just
they
in
said,
general.
I don't know what you're going to do, nigga, but you're going to succeed. I said, I know.
Yeah.
Because in college they told me that I should act. Because in college, it was funny because we had the talented Heisman hopefuls. Yeah. And the people that was so great at football, all the yards, all the touchdowns. And they weren't even the most popular people on campus.
The football players?
No, they weren't the top players.
Oh, got it.
It was me. The freshman, the sophomore, who was the most popular because it was more like I was throwing the parties
Mhm.
and really leading the social life.
Mhm.
And people would see because at the end of the day, that's like, you want to fit in
Yeah.
to the seniors and the juniors. Like, freshmen coming in here, who going to impress us the most? You kind of want to fit in. You want to be accepted by the seniors and stuff. Like, okay, I'm not playing. So like, let me just see, let me throw these parties.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this nigga Julian, AKA J12, he crazy with the parties. He got the girls, nigga.
J12.
He got the women. And
J12,
and that
wait,
would
no,
give me the energy.
Backtrack.
Yes.
J12, what
It's my nickname.
what does it mean? Can you share?
Yes, I haven't talked to my brother in a long time. Greg Bradley, when I was in like 5th grade, he came up with that nickname for me because I'm born December 12th.
Okay.
12.
December 12th.
Yes.
You're a Sag.
Sag.
Christ, a lot of questions have just been answered.
Exactly.
Got it.
Sagittarius, 12. J12 is my nickname. And but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my nickname. So Greg Bradley created it. But yeah, I think that people always tell me, they're like, yo, man, you so social, bro. You get the party going. That's what the parties now.
Yeah.
And gatherings now. And I love people. I love just being around energy. So people would tell me, like, man, this football shit don't work out, nigga. You can do some shit with entertainment.
Yeah. You have what the kids call Riz.
I think that. I like that.
Yeah, you
Thank
have
for
what
that.
the kids call Riz.
Yeah, thank you for that. I definitely.
Right? There's some young people behind the camera and they're like smiling like, oh shit, she knows.
Yeah, facts. That's facts.
So we had to like change the batteries. I don't know if you guys, my editors are really good, like seamless, cuts and stuff like that. So we're trying to figure out where we were. And we've had a cocktail or two.
Yeah.
So we don't remember where we were. So we're just going to pick back up at the now. Yeah?
Let's do it.
The now. Did I already ask you how you're handling the attention?
You kind of did.
Okay, well, let me ask blatantly. I noticed that you don't post a lot on Instagram, but you do tweet and it goes viral.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your favorite social media platform?
A favorite social media platform? That's a good question.
You doing any TikTok dances or anything?
No, TikTok is TikTok's my least favorite. I'm not gonna lie. And I know TikTok's a great platform. I know they had a little debacle what they had to do with getting canceled and whatnot. But I would say Twitter.
Okay.
I would say Twitter just because it's kind of like my newspaper.
Okay.
I think it not requires, but I think it has a lot of news on it. I think it has a lot of the moments that are going on within the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like, just a newspaper. You get to see what's going on, the trending topics. And I think that things get spread more there, and it's more awareness going on within Twitter because I think Instagram's kind of bougie, I think you put your best stuff on Instagram, and I think it's just like, this is like the Mona Lisa type bullshit you post on Instagram. You want everything to be kind of like fine, chiseled, nice and appropriate and decorative a little bit. So Instagram, I still like Instagram, definitely. But Twitter is more just, it's some bullshit on Twitter for sure. It's a lot of people's opinions that I don't think they shouldn't be talking at all. But I think just because the free speech that's on Twitter and the freeness of it and just like I said, it's like a newspaper. I think I always say Twitter is kind of my favorite social media for sure.
Okay, well, you did post on Instagram not too long ago.
Yes.
You posted 2 images. You juxtaposed football,
Yes.
football Julian, and Roy Julian.
Yeah.
Who's more comfortable in his skin? Because you are fine as all get out, okay?
Oh my gosh, Melyssa Ford just told me that. Sometimes in life. Never mind, keep going.
But when you are playing football, you got to do the 2-a-days.
Yeah.
You are ripped and shredded and whoa, that picture was something else, boy. I just have to keep reminding myself that you were like 23 at that time?
I was thinking I was like 26.
Shit.
33 now, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you get the opportunity to see what I was saying, then you'll understand the reaction and you will forgive me, okay? Whatever. So who's more comfortable in his skin? This version of you or that version of you?
I would say, that's a good question. Both of them were comfortable in their skin. Both of them were. But I think right now I'm comfortable in my skin because I've learned that like the majority of people, women, love the second version of myself, which is the Roy Julian.
The husky.
The husky, he might have abs, nigga. He still work out, but he ain't lean as that.
Yeah, screw a 6-pack.
Yeah, but it's still there though, a little bit. It's over the...
Right, yeah.
But at the same time...
It's a little... It's us.
Because to have that body to be as lean as I was, like 7% body fat,
it's really hard to maintain.
it's hard to maintain.
Yeah, it's really hard to maintain.
And we live in, look,
we drinking.
I want to go out after this,
right.
and I ain't trying to worry about what I get to eat, and I gotta eat tuna, no bread. Like it's tough, and especially as you get older. So I would definitely say just like,
Wait, did you just say, wait, hold on. Did you just say get older? You're, 30?
33.
30? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're at your Jesus age.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeshua, thank Lord, huh? Exactly.
Getting older. Okay, wait till you hit your 40s. Anyways, continue.
You look fucking great, by the way, in your 40s. Oh my gosh, you're
thank
fucking
you.
amazing. But I think, to be honest, I think in between. So I think right now I'm a little in between because I like, I'm doing some stuff right now that I have to be like in between. I think in between is I think 1.5 is a good, size. And that's where I'm most comfortable at. So I'm trying to get there, and I'm working on that every single day by eating better, by sleeping better, and working out more, and just doing what I got to do to just maintain and just be strong and be lean and be healthy. So yeah, but I'm comfortable in every skin though because God's with me.
Right.
That's how it is. For
right.
Sure.
He walks with you
every day.
Yeah.
For damn sure.
So, how did you get into meditation?
Panic attack, 2020.
And what was that like? Describe the moment that happened. Would you call that one of your come to Jesus moments?
I want to say come to Jesus moment because I pray to Jesus every single day, but I think it was one of my fans who had supported me in my acting, my football. He had passed away, and that year it was 2020. I was in LA. I was living in LA. I was living in Burbank at the time, and this is 2020.
2020 was a poop show.
It was crazy.
2020
rest
was
in peace to
crazy.
everybody that had to deal with, the loss that happened, the people that are still grieving from that. That was a tough year in 2020. But also with 2020 came a lot of freedom. It came a lot of, with George Floyd, rest in peace, there came a lot of protests. This is in LA, so you're meeting people every single day, and you're meeting new people.
I lived in LA at
You're
that time.
partying, and you're drinking, and you're eating crazy, and it was just like, just too much freedom. It's just too much freedom because people had nothing shit to do.
Well, also, people didn't know what was going to happen.
They didn't know what was going to
We're
happen.
in the middle of a pandemic. We didn't know if an asteroid was going to hit the Earth.
Exactly.
Nobody knew what was happening.
Facts.
So we were like, let's just live like tomorrow really is not promised because we truly don't know if tomorrow is promised.
That's facts.
So I think that's how people were kind of living. It was just like bizarro world.
It was
at that
crazy.
time.
It was crazy, but I had too much freedom. Like I was partying, meeting people, and partying, meeting people, drinking, partying, whatever. I think it just caught up to me. I think it caught up to me, and I think I had a panic attack that was so bad. I threw my phone, I cracked my phone, and I ran miles and miles.
Like Forrest Gump?
Yes. I thought I was going to die. My heart was beating so damn fast. Panic attacks are scary because you don't know what's happening to your body and stuff, and your mind is tricking you. Anxiety is tricking you. Anxiety is deceiving you. Your heart is beating fast as shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Lord, Yeshua, please, not like this. I'm by myself in the motherfucking middle of the street. This is horrible.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I got through that, and I got past that. And I've always been, I've had anxiety for a long time. I think I've had anxiety since. I'm not gonna give anxiety that much credit, but I've been dealing with anxiety since I was like 12 years old, just with intrusive thoughts and certain fears, and just. I try to get to the bottom of what causes my anxiety. I try to get to the bottom of what causes everyone anxiety. And then you realize, and when you do the research, you find out that it's a fight or flight response. And it's been around since the caveman times. And it was there to protect people. But then you get older and generations have passed on anxiety, you realize that the deception of anxiety is tricking you. And at the end of the day, your mind is just tricking you, basically, long story short. Yep. People used to say saber-tooth and a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
That's when you're supposed to get anxiety. Like, nigga, I'm not supposed to be scared. Now you get an intrusive thought, a fear.
Or somebody
what can happen.
Or somebody shits on you on social media.
And then next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, this anxiety takes over. And then it's so unpleasant. It's so worrisome. It's so toxic. Any person does not want that. But for some reason, our mind tricks ourselves. And we want it out of our mind so much that it actually conveys it to you and attracts it to you. The more you try to get it out of your mind, the more it comes back to you.
Yes.
So the hard part about anxiety is being so present that you don't focus on it, and that you can focus on something else and don't even worry about the anxiety.
Mhm.
Because trying to get rid of it just by your own self and by your own mind, it's damn near impossible.
Mhm.
So speaking of the panic attack that got me introduced to meditation, to answer that question, like I said, I've been researching anxiety for a long time, but that panic attack was so scary
Mhm.
that I was like, you know what? I cannot deal with that shit again. I got to really find ways to like settle this anxiety, diminish this anxiety, and not let it fuck with me like this again, ever again. So, I started taking ashwagandha. I
Mm.
started taking magnesium,
Mhm.
fish oil,
Mhm.
and I've been taking vitamins for a long time. But I introduced those vitamins to my regimen, my regimen
Mhm.
per se, and that helped.
Yes, they do.
It definitely diminished the cortisol within my brain because
Yeah.
cortisol is a stress hormone. So ashwagandha helped with that, and then meditation helped because it increases gray matter in the brain.
Mhm.
It reduces stress.
Yeah.
It allows you to be more present. So that helped because I really didn't understand how imperative a breath was. Just
Mm.
taking a
We hold it so
we
much.
hold it so much. And then
Yeah.
you start doing that. And I would start doing it like 10 minutes in the sauna, listening to my favorite music. And I would feel like I was on a drug, but this is really just my breath
Yeah.
and good music. And you start doing that again and again and again, making it a repetition,
Mhm.
making it a habit. And then you finally start to realize that like the power of anxiety and the power of depression, intrusive thoughts and fear, they don't have that much power anymore. And then you just keep doing it and keep doing it. And I've been doing it for 5, 6 years now, since 2020. So that kind of started me in meditation. And then in hindsight, on the flip side of things, it makes you a better actor because it makes you more present.
Yeah.
It makes you more in the moment. It
Mhm.
makes you not in your head. It makes you stop thinking about things so much. It makes you just be. Like right now, I'm just being with you. So whatever I do, I'm doing it. I'm not thinking about shit. And I have to live that way. I have to live that way. And that's why I live like every single day. So that's what introduced me to meditation.
That
For sure.
must feel wonderful to feel that free.
It feels amazing.
Yeah.
It feels amazing because I think that like the yearning to feel good
Mhm.
is actually destructive. You really want to just be present.
Oh yeah.
You want to just be present.
Yeah, there's addictive quality. I mean, like it's like dopamine addiction. Wanting to feel good all the time.
Exactly.
We're not wired to feel that way.
Exactly.
Like we would burn out if all we did was feel good all the time, or we
Exactly.
would become desensitized to it.
Mhm.
So we need to experience undulation in our emotions. We need the high, we need the lows in order to value the highs.
Definitely.
And so
You need to balance out a little bit.
and
for sure.
and that's where balance comes in. So coupled with did you couple meditation with therapy? Have you ever
I
gone?
never done therapy, to be honest. I've never done therapy.
Do you have an interest in it?
Not really, to
Really?
be honest. I don't think it's a bad
Acting
thing.
your therapy?
Acting is my therapy. I think God's my therapy. I think I
Okay.
just let it all to God. I think I pray a lot. I think that I do my 5-mile walks every day and converse with God so much and converse with Yeshua so much, letting every fear, worry, stress, that's the negative side. But then the positive side, every praise, every ounce of just adoration and just reverence I have for God, I let it all out. And I talk to God and I just know that it's through him, with him, from him, by him that I can do all things. Like I said, I'm not a good at good. I made mistakes. I sinned. I messed up. I'm trying to get better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't come here acting like, oh, nigga, like you. No, I don't do that. I'm a human being.
It's the human experience.
Trying to get better and knowing that God's given me a lot of blessings, a lot of mercy, a lot of grace. And I use that as my therapy. And it works because I definitely feel different from the inside out.
Mhm.
And that's the truth. And that's my purpose in life. My purpose in life is literally just like to utilize what God's given me to maximize it and to show that God's the X factor. Like I said, and it's nothing like about being like, yeah, I'm super religious. I'm a goody good. It's nothing about that. It's
I
just
don't
the
get
truth.
that from you at all.
It's the truth. It's
No,
just the truth of what I feel.
Yeah,
That's it.
I just get somebody who is like really thoroughly enjoying their time on this earth.
That's it.
From a cellular level.
Mhm.
Like you radiate, just enjoyment and forget the charisma, because that's just a given, but you radiate just contentment and
Yeah.
and enjoyment and happiness
Mhm.
and all of the things that I think that everybody's trying to pursue, that radiates off of you. You know,
I
and so
appreciate that.
I'm very, very happy for you.
I really do appreciate that.
I'm very, very happy for you. So we have 5 minutes left. So I want to do something that we call rapid fire. Since you have spent time in Philly and you spent time in Atlanta,
Yep.
a lot of this is going to relate to food and the culture of both places, okay?
Okay.
All right. A Philly cheesesteak or a 10-piece? And the 10-piece is fried chicken, right? Okay, wings or some wings. Got it. Okay, because Atlanta's apparently known for wings. So
Yeah.
Philly cheesesteak or a 10-piece?
You know,
Rapid fire.
I'm going with cheesesteak. I'm going with cheesesteak.
Really?
Philly. Eagles, Super Bowl, Philly,
Yeah, okay,
Jim,
all right.
Geno's,
Not mad at you. Not mad at you.
yeah,
It's strange
Philly.
combo. Always has been to me, but
Facts it is.
I digress on that. Okay, flats or drums?
Drums.
Okay. Hot or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper.
I think I'm starting to drool right now. I'm so
Yeah.
hungry. Okay. Waffle House or IHOP?
Ugh. Reenactment. Ah.
I can't with you.
I mean, I don't know. It's just like the Waffle House thing. It's like, see, when I do Waffle House, I do the light waffle, 4 cheese scrambled eggs with a grilled chicken breast. And, you know,
And you pour syrup all over it?
Syrup all over it.
God damn, that sounds good.
All over it. And I do the same thing. I get a short stack, 3 pancakes. Sometimes 5 though. You know, but the eggs are different a little bit. You know, I kind of fuck with the 4 cheese scrambled eggs from Waffle House better, and the waffle better. So, and also you can't get Waffle House everywhere.
No, you can't.
I think the limited edition value of Waffle House gives it the edge in this situation. I'm going Waffle House.
All right. Okay. Switching things up from food to strip clubs, Follies or Magic City? I heard about Follies. It resembles,
You know, Follies.
it resembles the parking lot.
Strip club to me is like being an actor. You want to have an objective. I don't just want to go in there just to fucking waste time and throw ones. I want to go in there with a purpose.
And eat?
No, I can't go into that. Follies.
Okay. Because the food be hitting in strip clubs, though.
Shout out Juju. Hey, that's my people's over there. Magic City is amazing. But Follies is like a staple in the game, and I miss it. There's other places like it, but it'll never be Follies for sure.
Facts. Okay.
Yes.
Outcast or Migos? That's hard.
Reenactment again. Anyways, it's hard to go into. I know. So both groups have a sentimental value to my life. You know, I know rest in peace Rico Wade. Shout out Ray Murray, Sleepy Brown. They were instrumental in bringing Outkast to life. Shout out Goody Mob too. Migos. If I'm going there from the North, I'm from the North. You know what I'm saying? So many talented people have come from the North. Shout out Drewski. Shout out Taylor Rooks. Shout out Cameron Hayward. There's so many athletes that have come out the North. And it's like, but I'm going to go prestige with this. I'm going Outkast.
I think it's easy. I think they're about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So, you know,
yes,
it's going to be a good moment for the culture. Football Julian or Beauty and Black Julian?
Beauty and Black Julian, I'm richer.
Okay.
More money, more recognition. I don't give a shit. Beauty and Black, Netflix. That red in Tyler Perry is so pivotal for people. They don't understand that. So I'm going Beauty and Black Julian.
No, I'm going to live vicariously through you.
For sure.
That's fabulous. Okay. One Music Fest or Freaknik?
How
old were you when Freaknik started?
4.
All righty then.
4.
Okay, so did you live vicariously
I went
through
to one
somebody's
music
memories?
fest and my feet were hurting like crazy. And I'm going to have to go with Freaknik. I've seen the videos, I've seen the documentaries. They're on my type of time. So I'm going. I'm definitely going Freaknik with that.
It definitely looked like a time to be alive, huh?
Man, but it's kind of like spring break. I was in Panama City. Panama City Beach. We had
I think I missed all that. I'm from Canada, so you know.
did miss that.
Yeah, I missed all that.
You did.
I
High school, like Destin, Panama City.
Yeah.
We had a time.
Wow.
For sure.
I missed that. Julian, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford. Thank you all for joining me.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Reenactment.
Okay.
I have a question.
Because you're so good.
I have a question. Exactly.
Okay.
Take 2.
Okay.
I have a question on real shit. This is real. First and foremost, I gotta give you all your flowers.
Okay. Interviewer becomes the interviewee.
J2 Radio 103.7 FM. We live and direct. What it do? So at the end of the day, we got Melyssa Ford in the building.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? It's so great to have you on the show today. We have so many questions for you today.
Okay.
But we're gonna ask one pivotal question.
Yep.
You know what? First, before we get into the questions, we gotta give you your flowers.
Okay.
How grateful I am to be on your show.
Oh.
How blessed I am to be in your presence. How alive I feel to be around your spirit. It is amazing. I am blessed and I am fulfilled right now in ways that I cannot explain. But something happened this week. Well, last week.
Wait, what happened?
A song came out.
Did it?
Something about touching, give me a hug. Yes. A song came out and one of the biggest artists in the world, Drizzy.
I think I've heard of him.
Gave you a shout out calling you a legend from the 6. Now I got 2 questions.
Okay.
What was your first initial reaction when you heard the record? And how do you feel about it now after digesting it for a few days?
First initial reaction was, phew, because that could have gone a totally different way. Anytime that I've heard my name was in a song, it has either been like Lupe Fiasco, great. Kanye West, great.
Yes.
Or the other way, and you all know what I'm talking about. So it could have gone either way. So when I heard the context and what it was, I was like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, no, it felt great. It felt great. It felt great for that. The flowers, the recognition, whatever the circumstances are, I don't give a shit. It was my moment. I put that shit in my bio. I put the song in my bio. Yeah. I'm doing a little jig.
Yes.
I'm living in, like you, I'm living in the moment. I'm totally present and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. I have nothing else to say. Thank God for this moment. I mean that serious. Yes, it's such a pleasure being on your show.
I appreciate you for being on the 2nd season of Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford. Julian Horton, if you have not already started watching Beauty in Black, you are totally missing out. Go watch it right now. The entire 1st season is up on Netflix, and maybe there is a 2nd season coming. We don't know that, but we do. We know that.
I don't know. I don't know.
But anyway, stay tuned for the rest of the episodes. Season 2, we got a lot of stuff bubbling under the surface. It's going to be amazing.
It's amazing.
Thank you, Julian,
Thanks
for
for
joining me. And thank y'all for tuning me. Bye. Thank you for tuning into Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford. Please rate, subscribe, and comment, and share wherever you get your favorite podcasts. This season of Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford is hosted, written, and executive produced by me for Forged Path Productions. This episode was written and produced by Sebastian Godin. Filming and editing of this episode is done by GVI Films and executive produced by Rachel DeSalvo.